This episode is Down in the Hole is brought to you in part by, I don't know. Us? You and I. That's it, man.
Mostly you.
There's a lot of gear down here. I'm surrounded.
Awesome.
But I love the old analog TV setup. You were talking, you texted me something about running old DOS games.
Yeah, I was, for a little while now, I've had this, people laugh at me for this, but I have this urge to have just a big one whole unit, a big 486.
Yeah.
And I want to play some games off 3.5. I want to play some old. I know there's all kinds of ways you can do it.
The original, the original way to do it would be awesome. If you could get an old, Windows 3.1.
Yeah.
Because I had to play. I never had Windows 3.1, but I did have Windows 98. But I had Windows 95 actually.
I started on it was just DOS at one point, and then 3.1 came.
Yeah.
I was into 3.1.
Yeah.
I
used 3.1 at school, but when we finally got a computer at home, it was Windows 95.
It was the last, when I was really into building and all that stuff, it was around probably mid 2000s.
Did you used to build computers?
When I was younger, yeah. Around, I guess the last one I would have done would have been around Windows XP. I was...
Oh, cool.
It was a long time ago.
Why did you get a Mac? What the fuck?
GarageBand.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, but there's so much cool shit for Windows
Well, you know what? Here's
Back
what we're going to do.
Back then there wasn't, though, really.
We're going to start a new series at some point here in the future.
Okay.
And we're going to call it Blaine and John will build a PC for Jono.
Yeah.
And we can just go step by step, part by part.
Yeah. And we use Canada Computer because they're the best on the planet. Because that's it. You could order the parts online, from Newegg and stuff, but then you're you risk certain stuff, compatibility and things like this. Those guys have always been so cool at hey man, why don't you get this instead? It's a bit cheaper. It's actually better. Da 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 da. And what they always do down there, which I love. So I went down there, my computer that I've got upstairs, I built it 8 years ago in 2015. And I went on their website, built a parts list, printed it, went there. We swapped out a couple things because maybe they didn't have something in stock or they had a better suggestion.
Yeah.
And the video card that I wanted, they didn't have it, but they had another one that was, again, we're just mixing parts, saving a little bit of money here and there. It was like an NVIDIA 960. I still have that card in that machine. And I'm still playing brand new shit. Brad and I are playing a computer game. It's a military simulator called Ready or Not.
Yeah.
And it's a room clearing old school Rainbow Six, really old school Rainbow Six, 1996 Rainbow Six. And very meticulously clearing buildings and stuff for these hostage situations and all kinds of different shit that happens. Yeah. And man, it is so hard, that game. But that video card runs that game. I have a lot of RAM in the machine, which helps.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Canada Computer, they're very helpful. And like I said before, I didn't finish. What they always will do is, I want this processor, I want this motherboard, I want this blah, 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 blah. They'll open up the motherboard box and they will seat that processor for you with the heatsink and everything. They will do it for you for nothing. Because those processors are fragile.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Ritz cracker, or even with static electricity. So they've got the anti-static straps, or you're grabbing onto a pole or something. If I take that home and I do that myself, and I drop it, or I bend a pin, if they bend a pin, they just go grab another one off the shelf and make sure I don't have a bent pin.
Yeah.
So Newegg might be cheaper, but in the long run, they're not expensive either.
Yeah.
And you can buy a pre-built. They got pre-built ones, $800 to $2,000, which is the same as me selecting the parts and having to put it together. So you can take the
Yeah,
easy way
fair
out
enough.
too, and it's not really that much more money for a pre-built.
Yeah.
And you can run emulation and stuff, but I know what you mean. It would be cool to have like a really
Just
old,
the authenticity
yeah, that
of the
clackety
old
clack
stuff.
keyboard, and it's all one piece.
Yeah.
You know, I had a Mac. No, it wasn't even a Mac. It was an Apple II Macintosh. Back when it was actually called like Macintosh Computer Company or whatever.
Yeah.
And that thing was crazy. It had like a black and yellow screen that sat on top of this box that had the computer in it, and the keyboard was all one piece. It was so weird, and it was so old, and it would overheat. So I had like a desk fan like aimed into it to keep it from
Yeah.
rebooting. Like,
Man, when I can't even tell you how young I was. I was pretty young. And I remember my stepdad bringing home this little, I bet you the screen was maybe like, I don't know, 9 inches.
yes, it's like a 10
And
inch screen.
it was DOS, and it was black and orange.
Mm-hmm.
Like and that's where we started. And then from there it was 3.1. So then I got to, paint and solitaire, and then I got into, there was like a bunch of like Commander Keen and that sort of
Holy
stuff on the old
shit.
3.5.
Yeah, Commander
Um,
Keen was an id game. The guys who
uh,
made Doom.
yeah, oh yeah, man,
Oh
I
man.
loved it. Like I remember playing
Yep.
Wolfenstein and Doom, and like the original Warcraft.
Yeah.
I loved the original Warcraft. Warcraft 2 was
I
incredible.
played Warcraft 2 so much.
I'm actually loading up my BattleNet right now just to see, because I know I can play some of those classic RTSs. I can still play on the Mac. So
Yeah, Blizzard was really good with that. They actually had even way back in the day. I remember them having that. Everything was always available on a Mac. I'm pretty sure from Blizzard. They were really good at what they did. I played
yeah, no
Warcraft 2:
Overwatch though.
Tides of Darkness. They had they had like I played that so much. I remember even like connecting with buddies, but you had to like have each other's phone number because you had to go through your modem. And like,
Yeah,
don't
me and my
answer
old
your
neighbor.
phone, and then the computer would answer it, and you'd be connected, and that was how we used to play online. That's how we used to play online. And Mom's like, "Oh, the phone hasn't rang in 4 hours," and then she'd pick the phone up, and she'd be like, "What the hell, Blaine? Are you playing games?" I'm like, "Whoops, sorry, Mom. We've got people trying to call the house, and you're down there hogging the phone line." I'm like, I got in shit a couple times for that, but
Man, we dealt with that for a long time.
that was cool, man. Duke Nukem, same thing. I used to make maps, custom maps in Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem 3D. I can't remember the name of the engine.
I love Duke Nukem 3D, man. When you can go into those little peep show rooms.
Yeah, shake it, baby. You hand her money because it was the first-person shooter camera, right? So the hand would always come up in front with the gun. But then when you
Man.
were like paying a stripper, you handed her money.
Dark Forces.
Dark Forces. What's that?
Like the original Star
Wars.
Wars first-person shooter.
Yeah. Because that was built in one of those old Doom-style engines as well, I think.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then there was Jedi Knight, Dark Forces 2.
Yeah. I used to play Hexen,
Yeah.
Heretic, Triad. What was another one? Shadow Warrior. That was the Duke Nukem Samurai game.
Yeah.
And the guy his name was Lo Wang. And he was like the Japanese Duke Nukem. It was so horrible, man. Like the game was fine and the humor was bullshit. But when you're 15 years old, all that shit's fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's a hot tub with a naked lady in it. But yeah, it's like pixelated. It's 1995 computer graphics. You're like the worst, stuff ever. And even like when my dad had a guy build a computer for us, and that guy, he had a lot of games in there. Like I remember there was, and he just said, your kids will find some games in there. Then there was Doom 2. There was TIE Fighter, Ultima 7, and like Chuck Yeager Air Combat.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Computer cost like $3,000. It was a Pentium 75 with a 1 gigabyte hard drive. So the $3,000 that computer cost, $1,500 of that was probably that 1 gigabyte hard drive.
Wow.
Because back in like 1996, the word gigabyte wasn't even around. One gigabyte, what's that? I'm like, bro, it's 1,024 megabytes.
I'm currently installing
Warcraft 2.
The original StarCraft.
Oh, StarCraft. I never played StarCraft.
Really?
No.
Oh, dude.
I was always a Warcraft guy.
I actually have... I don't know where it is. Oh, I can see it over there. Give me 1 second.
Correct me if I'm wrong, too. Now he can't hear me, but I'm pretty sure StarCraft, they turned it into a first-person shooter, I do believe. Maybe I should ask John all that question. He's back. Let's ask him.
Came with the Diablo 3 Collector's Edition.
I can't really see that.
Hold on, I'm going to pull that. So it's basically the Diablo head. I don't know if you can see the face right here.
Oh, gotcha.
And then this.
Put your hand behind it. Because you're a pretty white dude.
I'm a very white dude.
Yeah, I got you. The horns and stuff. Yeah, cool.
And then this part is a thumb drive that has the first 2 Diablo games on it.
Oh, sweet. See, now, was StarCraft... Did they eventually make a StarCraft, like, first-person shooter? Or am I seeing things?
No, there was... I'm pretty sure at one point they were even working on it, but it never happened. And then they were going to do something else that turned into... that ended up turning into Overwatch. It was Warcraft something. I can't remember what it was called. I'd have to look it up. But I remember back in the day, if you had like the old Warcraft 2 battle chest, the little pamphlets inside, there was like an advertisement for like a third person like adventure game based on Warcraft, but that never ended up happening. And I think that's what ended up spinning eventually into Overwatch.
Because that makes sense, because Overwatch does have a very similar art style to World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
That cartoony kind of... It's a cool art style. It's unique only to World of Warcraft, which is awesome. It's a great style. Same with the Team Fortress 2 style. I loved how they upped that into like kind of vintage cartoony territory with all the just insanely huge stuff and exaggerated, caricatures of people. It was a very cool aesthetic, if you will. What new games you playing? Because you want to play all the old games.
Okay, so what I'm pretty sure it was 95. Might have even been 3.1. Sim Tower.
Sim Tower, yeah. The sim games are great.
But if anybody can find me Sim Tower, like I have tried, I have searched high and low.
Abandonware.com.
All right.
You want to go on Abandonware.com, and you will have every single old game that's ever existed in the history of the planet Earth on that website. Free to download because it is abandoned. And they have all the sim games because I downloaded Sim Farm. I used to play.
Any of this compatible with Mac?
That's a good question. Probably.
We'll find out.
Probably. Yeah. Abandonware.com. It's like a yellow website.
We'll find out here, buddy.
Because I remember I downloaded Sim Farm. Because my brothers and I...
Sim Farm was awesome.
Yeah, we used to play Sim Farm like crazy. Roller Coaster Tycoon. But yeah, Sim City, Sim Farm. They had Sim everything.
Yeah, like Sim Tower.
Tower was another one. I never played Sim Tower.
Abandonware.com.
Yeah, Abandonware. Kind of like software, Abandonware. W-A-R-E.
It's I'm getting like some fucking Bible website.
Ooh, you don't want that. 1 second. Let me check it out here. But yeah, it's cool. I go on Abandonware and I downloaded NHL 2004, the best hockey game ever made by EA Sports. Downloaded that.
I have an old laptop that might run on. I'd play it with you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Sorry,
myabandonware.com.
it's myabandonware.com.
You
Yep.
sending me some crazy religious website,
Yeah,
bro? Go check it. Just do yourself a favor. Check out abandonware.com while you're.
maybe I'll check that out.
Just check it out. Look at where you sent me.
That's funny. Abandonware.com, where you're supposed to be going to my abandonware. Abandonware.com. Oh wow, yeah. Armageddonsoon.com. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
let's go.
What are we getting into? That website looks like it was made in 1991.
That looks like something I made in grade 10 computer class.
Yeah, exactly. With iframes.
Actually, you know what? I probably would have made a better one.
Yeah, I would have used a gradient for a background instead of a solid color.
Yeah.
Instantaneously way better than anything. That abandonware. Yeah, myabandonware.com. If you like old games, go there, search for it. You might find it. SimTower will definitely be on there. If it's available for Mac, I do not know. And a lot of times with that stuff, there's a lot of workarounds as well. Like with NHL 2004, you can install it, but it's not just going to work. You know, you have to do some stuff, but there's tutorials on YouTube how to do some stuff to make it run on Windows 10 or 11, because we are like 4 or 5 generations ahead of when it was created.
Yeah.
But that's what YouTube's for, and those guys do awesome jobs. YouTube's fantastic. But yeah, I bet you SimTower's on there.
I'm looking.
And yeah, I guess
23,700 games.
That's a couple.
That's a few.
Yeah. I know NASCAR 2004 or NASCAR 2003 season's on there. And NHL 2004 and, you know, Delta Force, Black Hawk Down, like everything's on there. Sim Farm, because that's where I got Sim Farm from. Depending how old the game was, you can use DOSBox. Like there's stuff like DOSBox. I know DOSBox, but I know it's evolved since then because DOSBox has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So there's more advanced versions of that type of software to emulate DOS. Because I remember having to play Doom, and you would have to reboot into DOS and type in CD/Doom launch.exe to get the game to boot. It wasn't just as easy as firing up Steam and click and go. So they need to emulate that DOS environment. So there is software that can do that. So
dude, this website is crazy.
Yeah, buddy.
Like, gang, you don't even know. myabandonware.com.
It's awesome.
And you can look at just a list of everything they've got, and it is crazy.
That's it. Don't even search for anything. Just start searching. Just start scrolling. Click on a genre and start going. Actually,
I didn't know there were so many games that started with the word scuba.
Yeah, scuba. What are a couple? I've never played any.
Scuba Man's Quest, Scuba, get Heimisee der Meer.
Oh my god.
Scuba Venture, Scuba Kids, Scuba Dive.
So you've even got stuff from different countries, and you're getting into all kinds of shenanigans. Can you search for operating system? Like, could you search for a Mac?
You can, but my Mac runs kind of shit right now, especially with Skype going.
Yeah.
So it's having some issue.
If you wanted to jump on that website, I'm sure you'll find what you need.
Yeah.
But yeah, the computer stuff's great. Even with emulation, man. Like Switch emulators, dude.
Yeah.
There's a thing called Yuzu. And you can play the brand new Zelda game through an emulator. I don't even know how. It doesn't make any sense. I figured, emulating N64 stuff was hard enough. But these emulators, these hacker, nerd, thief pirates, somehow they get these things to work, and I'm rolling through YouTube because I want to know how to install a Super Nintendo game, and then all this Switch stuff's coming up, and I'm like, what is this? And you can do it. It's insane, man. Like what these guys come up with and how they've run these ROMs through these emulators, and it's illegal. You have to own the product, but I mean, it's neat to see what they can do too. Like even when I emulate like a game like WCW versus NWO Revenge, I can run that through an emulator using a graphics card, which is completely different technology from what was used on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And I'm able to do widescreen, like it pulls the curtains back, because the graphics are there, you just can't see them. So you're running these things in 16:9 widescreen.
Yeah.
You know, with crystal clear graphics and everything else, because now you're not displaying it on a CRT, you're displaying it on a HDMI, 1080p monitor, so it's a different way of rendering. And you wonder, like,
Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 4.
Yeah.
I'm so close, man. I'm so close. Page 53.
Does it not have a search button? Like, you can't just type it in?
Yeah, it won't, but it won't do anything. Like, I typed it in, and oh my God.
Sim everything. How many games start with the word sim?
No Sim Tower.
No?
Nope. I'm telling you, bro, this is the hardest motherfucker to find in the world.
No way.
Yeah. So, oh, shit. Nope, it was on the next page. Oh my God.
Haha, I knew it.
Yeah, it was Windows 3.1, bro. You got to see this shit.
Cool. So it does exist. So it was 3.1. Hey, wow.
Yeah.
See, so now you're able to download that. But I don't know
and I can
how
download
you're
it
able
on
to.
Mac. Oh my God.
Oh, is there a Mac version?
Fuck, yeah, there is.
Okay, see, but I still don't know how you're going to play it on a new Mac.
I don't know.
Unless Mac's smart enough to just know old Mac stuff.
Well, here's what we're going to do.
We're going to try it.
We're going to try it.
Welcome to Down in a Hole, by the way, where we troubleshoot old games on new computers.
Oh, what do you mean not found? What is this?
Not found? What do you mean? Like trying to download it's not working?
You click download and it's just 404 page not found. Yeah, that's disappointing.
It's there somewhere, man.
Abandonware. What is this shit?
The internet is a gigantic place, and there's got to be a way to find it. See, now that's going to be my mission, is finding a Mac-compatible version of Sim Tower from
I'd even run it on, like... I'd run it on, like I said, I got no laptop.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind running under. But if you like, man, God, this game was awesome.
Yeah, I never played it. There were
so many.
Playing
it in a browser right now.
Oh, could you play it in a browser? That might be a thing. A lot of games do that. I know, like Quake 3 Arena did that. The id Software re-released Quake 3 Arena.
Yeah.
And you could play it in a browser, and it would launch on your computer without having to install anything. And it still used mouse and keyboard and it had all the same settings, but you used a browser to launch it. It would it'd snap into full screen mode, and away you went.
Yeah, it uses DOSBox. This is really cool.
Yeah. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. myabandonware.com. You need questions? I've got no.
Bro,
you've got questions. I've got answers. God. Apparently. Did you find a link for it that actually works?
File name Jono. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm like creating a save file for it right now.
Oh, it's actually going through a browser.
Yeah. Oh my God, buddy, this is sick. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste this. How do I get it? Okay, there we go.
Live on Down in a Hole, episode number 55B.
Yeah, it happened.
We have figured out how to get Sim Tower working in less than 7 minutes.
How do I do that?
I love, too, how you are surrounded literally by all the technology and musical instruments in the fucking world, all the most recent shit. And you're going to be sitting here all night playing Sim Tower.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Xbox Series X, HDMI, 8K, television, fucking surround sound 7.2. What are you playing, bro? Oh, just like it's 1991 all over again. some Sim Tower. Cool sweater. I'm seeing those guys next month.
Yeah, we are.
Because they're opening for the Monsters of Metal, Gojira, and
Lorna Shore.
Lorna Shore. What was that just moved up on screen? Some link just showed up. You must have shared your screen or something. If that was peculiar, I'll blur it out in the edit.
No, it's
It's like, here's my IP. Please hack me.
No, it's a link to this game, bro.
Oh, cool. And you play it from a browser.
Yeah.
That's really
well,
neat.
it was a 3.1 game.
That's really cool how technology allows that to happen. Where we can still get our old games and play them.
But you gotta, dude, you gotta try it. Like it's unreal.
I'll try it, yeah. Where'd you send it to? The Skype? Or just to my messenger, or email it to me, or whatever you want to do?
I sent the link to you on Skype.
Okay, cool. When I get on my real computer, I'll try it.
It was, crazy.
It's crazy, but that's how it goes.
That's how it goes when you're down in a hole.
Hey, that's probably the end of the episode right there. We can't go out on a better note right there.
No, that was, hell yeah.
Sweet segue to the outro, bro. If you like what you see and you want to see more, links in the description, because that's how YouTube works. But you already knew that. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribing. Other channels, Tarnation TV, if you want to watch some NASCAR video game footage from NASCAR Racing 2003 season. Brad and myself do that, usually once a week. And that's a lot of fun, too. Speaking of old games that you can download from myabandonware.com, the greatest NASCAR simulator ever created, NASCAR Racing 2003 season. And, man, you wouldn't believe it. Brad and I, every week, we'll like broadcast a race for the league. 30 to 40 drivers show up, full field. Like 20-year-old game. Been abandoned for 19 years. And there's so many people that still play that game. And I love it because it's the best NASCAR game ever made. And the community behind it is amazing, the things that people do. And then who knew you could broadcast a race? So we figured out how to do that. And that's what we do on Tarnation TV, which is another channel completely separate from this one. But it's all about people playing games and stuff. Because what are we doing? Might as well be chilling, hanging out, having some fun. Life's too short to do stupid shit. So download old computer games. Because you know what? They were fun 20 years ago. They're still fun now. Thanks, Jono. I love you too, man. Have yourself a good night, everybody who's watching. Thank you very much.